Using a bar chart, a line chart, or a combo chart is an effective way to present data, but there are more chart types that may be useful for your specific data and the story you're trying to tell. To highlight the details behind changes in your data, you should consider a waterfall chart. It's a type of bar chart that displays the positive and negative changes that make up the larger change between two or more data points. And is generally used when you have subcategories within your data and are trying to understand how these subcategories contributed to a larger change in the data. You'll start a waterfall chart by plotting a single bar that represents the data's starting value and a single bar that represents the data's ending value. These start and end values could represent time passed, or they could reflect ordered categories, such as an income statement where you start with revenue and end with net profit. Both the initial and ending value bars should follow best practices by starting at a y-axis value of 0. That's really all that's required for a regular bar chart. However, with a waterfall chart, you'll want to visualize your subcategories to add additional details between the starting and ending data points. Let's take the example of an ice cream business, where you want to display sales as they relate to overall profit. You can use a waterfall chart to help your audience understand how the components contribute to the final value. You'll start by plotting the ice cream sales, and then typically you'll add other positive values, sources of income, such as merchandise sales and catering. Unlike the start and end values, each subcategory will start from a y-axis position at the end of the previous subcategory. This now represents the gross sales, but will then apply the negative values, such as supply cost, staff cost, and rent. This then leads to the ending value, the profit. Once you've plotted the subcategories, you can quickly see the impact of each one and any patterns across the data. Waterfall charts can be tricky for users to interpret. Color is a great way to help users quickly understand your chart. Use the same color for the initial and ending values, and then use a legend to depict which color represents an increase or a decrease. Data labels are also recommended to help users understand the specific impact of a subcategory without needing to mentally calculate the value. Lastly, you can add connector lines between the end of one subcategory and the beginning of the next to help users track each change. When dealing with many subcategories, it can also be beneficial to break down these changes by adding a subtotal bar that's similar to the start and end values. When you're dealing with very large start and end values, it may be difficult to see small changes in your subcategories or the actual waterfall portion of your chart. In these cases, you can consider starting your y-axis at a higher value, but instead of using bars for your starting and ending values, you should use a single point to represent the value. In these cases, data labels should definitely be used to display the start and end values. Waterfall charts may seem tricky on the surface, but by following these simple guidelines, they can be extremely effective and help you be more successful in telling the complete story about the changes within your data.